I'm catching the buzz. Well, I'm not catching the buzz on a very good note, sincerely speaking, because this story that we are about to bring to you is not, it's not exciting, sincerely speaking. It's rather on a very painful
Highly
note.
on an emotional note.
Yes.
You know, I had to cry because I'm a mother, you know, and a parent. You know what it means to train a child up to university, first degree in the United States, not to talk of a medical student. You know, the cost is...
And the kind of course he read and the popularity he has garnered for himself, it's just unfortunate. Well, we're talking about the US-based Nigerian cardiologist who died by suicide following a court-ordered $15,000 monthly child support. Well, Dr. Ikenna Erinne, a 36-year-old Nigerian cardiologist residing in the United States of America, tragically ended his life after a prolonged and contentious divorce and custody battle. The court ruling required him to pay $15,000 in monthly child support while granting him limited access to his children. Well, on Sunday, January 26, 2025, Erinne fatally shot himself. Yes, he committed suicide. And reports indicate that the legal proceedings took a significant financial toll on him, leading to his loss of thousands of dollars in legal fees and the eventual loss of medical licenses, his medical license as a result of the case. But remember, they said that when you think about Ikenna, you remember that Ikenna was a compassionate physician and a devoted family person, and he is survived by his children, Ugonna and Munachi, his parents, engineer Mrs. and Mrs. Chinwe Erinne, and his siblings, Chuck, Oni, Kenny, and Gechi. His burial is scheduled for February 3rd, that's today, 2025, at Eggbridge, Maryland, USA. Well, that was a very tragic one. What would have made Ikenna to take his life?
You know, I told you I was so emotional reading the... I was actually on that story when your text came in concerning this program this morning. And a lot of things on my mind. A young promising man of 36 years old. And again, I was like, you know, there are lots of comments that flooded the social media yesterday concerning the father of that girl. You know, so many people were of the opinion that the guy did not ask questions. And that brings us to this issue in Igbo land, that when you want to go and get married, the anajuase, kedebe nwasi, where is he from, or where is she from? Who is the father, who is the mother? Yeah. You know, these questions are the first thing that people ask before actually getting married.
Still do right this time around? People marry over...
Yeah, maybe these guys married abroad and probably there was no time to actually do all those investigations. But at the same time, for a woman that truly loves the husband and probably maybe ideology, you have conflict of ideology, and that will lead to divorce. You know what this man earns. Why would you go the extra mile of wanting to make him go through extra pain by stripping him naked of everything that he owns? That's where I think on the part of the woman in question, now the man is dead, you will still take care of those children.
Most people said he should go and get this thing from the grave. That he should go and get the money from him.
You understand? So these are the areas where you begin to... I'm sure if the storyline said contentious, contentious. So, and then spending huge amount of money, dollars, to get even that case in court. And then you're now sacrificing $15,000 monthly for Christ's sake. That's on the high side.
And, you know, stories kept coming up, you know, surrounding the death of Ikenna. Some people say that woman was the baby mama. Can you imagine? That the woman...
They were not
he never married him.
And now they have the baby mama, the so-called baby mama, and then the baby mama's father has been arrested, you know. And then, well, the thing is, somebody was analyzing it and said, nothing will ever make you take your life. He said he wasn't blaming Ikenna, and he wasn't blaming the actors in the story. But the thing is that, you know, nobody has the right over his life. And people should bear that in mind, that when you are pushed to the limit, don't even think of suicide as an alternative. Don't even.
You know, in the whole of this matter, there's some. I keep seeing a foundation that was faulty. You know, because in marriage, love plays a very vital role. And I was like, if this lady says he loved this guy, there wouldn't be divorce in the first place, because whatever the person you love does, you have the mind to forgive and let go, and life goes on, which is with everybody. Even when you look at your own parents, you know how they've lived for 35 years, 40 years, they're still there. And you look at your grandparents and all whatnot. It is love that kept them. And that love entails forgiveness.
You never had frictions?
You know, that's it.
They had frictions.
That entails forgiveness, you know, letting go, even when you need to hold on to the grudges, you let go and life moves on. Then again, there's this big question that flooded the social media yesterday about the father of that girl. That the people that knew him, they said, nobody said anything good about the father, that the guy did not ask questions. Then I was like, if I love you, my father shouldn't come in play, you know, or what my father, his ideologies or his life.
After all, we've moved away from that and become one. So it should be you and I sharing the family together. It shouldn't
come to play. So a lot of questions, and this points to our younger ones going into marriage. There are so many lessons to learn from this incident.
Yes. Okay, now we are moving from a very sad part to maybe a happy one, because you know, last week during the weekend we had Mr. Linus Edward, who's popularly known as B-Lord, Bitcoin Lord, launching an electric vehicle. You know, in his hometown, Ebenebe, not in Oka, not in Lagos, not in Abuja.
That's a plus. That's a plus for him. That's a plus.
Let's take a look at the video and then probably talk a bit about EVs, EVs, electric vehicles in Africa and Nigeria, how it's going to help us. So let's take the video.
This is shop. We are dropping him. Okay. So, Daddy, how do you feel about the trip?
Moto ebrat. Amara mo ge jamba si to Ebenebe. So motor o ka go keke mabure ba lo Lagos. Ibanya or looking on a plane. Yes. So B-Lord.
Sir.
I'm a go Chineke ga gozi you. Modana. Tu ya gozi you. Ego ya bo shibiri.
Amen.
Agwa ngilo ya yembere. Otu emeri ki ibu na Ebenebe.
Thank you, sir.
Ibi bele Ebenebe ke meri. Dika yeme. Ego ka ya bia. O ya lo to na afa Jesus.
Amen. So Daddy, ega kana nabugi from Amase.
Kita nne ja Amase akun 1000.
But kita ina bata gonna
Kan na bata ma ku 300.
300 ke ko.
Kan ko na bata.
All times our electric car.
Daddy go na boy Ebenebe.
Daddy go gogi.
O ya na boy Ebenebe. Gada ko 300 naira wo je. Amase.
Chineji. Dai Chineji. Ngege 100 naira.
100 naira.
Mama to think again. So you 100 naira.
Yes.
Asim no ya duru B-Lord mma. Ege ga agba osimiri ya tata. O nwoke nwa di ana m ka obu. O ga na eje na abata. Chineke ga na edue na onfe ma mbati ya niile. Ngozi ga duru ya. Na na ezi no ne. Manne.
So today I collect 900 I make. So 500, 700, 900. So there's one guy that gave me change, I'll give him 200. So now 900 I carry these people. So this 900 are free money because I didn't spend money in this car. The only thing this 900 will be for my energy. I didn't spend fuel. So I'm better than this thing. Thank you. So I'm better than Keke. We buy fuel. Me I not buy fuel. How a day? So now, how much did I save from them? I saved them from spending 700 each. So they pay me 300. And this money is like a free money because motor 1 bar per email to Suebuya from Okalueba. 1 bar. So I didn't spend money to charge it. So Malona, if I didn't China. Benebe ko buzo we land because motor no China can full ya and when full na China no dey Benebe but I'm no be. Yes. You see this motor I order, so I order go 50 of this car. I give you that. So in the bike now cost 300. That package in Amasi Junction, I got a charging station with solar. So I get general charge and charging. So Maronabo from Mwaloka, we are sending them to China to go and learn mechanic. Yes. So I get one mechanic shop. No, so you try to the motor, you go to a lawyer. That's good. You president, if you go yabu oku youth, do you understand? Empowering of youth. Makandi mechanic, je China keta, not the youth. Ndi age bunye motor, the youth. So you have a big role to play. Do you understand? Because by the time we reduce, when they buy a job, it's a man say abeba. Maka the transport is too much. But 300 is affordable. Do you understand? The battery is still full bar from Oka to here, full bar. So what are you talking about? I didn't spend money. And you tell me this car is not going to work. Do you know the distance from Amasi to Ebenebe? It's more than, it's over, let's say 6 to 7 kilometers.
Well, that was it for you, an innovation that is meant to, bring respite, bring relief in transportation for the grassroots.
And it's worthy of emulation, worthy of emulation.
I know it's worthy of emulation, but let's take a look at the sustainability of that project. For many weeks now, we've not had lights in my area.
Likewise, mine too.
And it's talking about building, a charging center.
It said solar.
Powered by solar, but it has not been done. Do you understand what I mean? I'm talking about sustainability. It's good. 1,500 naira to Ebenebe and then 300 naira to Ebenebe. I mean, it's a whole world of
difference. It's a game changer.
It's a game changer. So, starting this business, I heard that Innocent has already started that too.
Yeah.
And we have other 6 companies who are into EV, that's electric vehicles. Some are tricycles, some are bicycles. Sorry, not bicycles. Some are motorcycles, and then vehicles. Now, what is the future of this kind of business in Nigeria? Considering what we are having.
Sincerely speaking, I think I would really need to commend these young men for going this length to think of ways of doing things. And then it begins to beat my imagination. If federal government are trying to sell us CNG buses, you understand, which have its own hazards, you understand, explosion. And again, there are no mechanic workshops where you can drive in and get these vehicles serviced. You understand? So now you have individuals coming up and trying to do things like this in their own locality. I think federal government really needs to think of that money they are investing in CNG conversion. They should equally invest it in bringing these vehicles down to this part of the world to alleviate the suffering.
And preparing, the ground for those who
actually.
So now, if this is the way,
is about 8 million.
Yeah, if this is the way forward, you understand, which is the diversification of economy, then we should now stop thinking on this mainstay of fuel being our major source of economy.
But you should know that globally, fuel is going out of...
that is what I'm saying.
Globally.
But
and we can't be left behind. That is the truth.
But you need to put your house in order.
That's what... Billard actually says something. Already, he's making arrangements to take 2 young men from their community to China to learn how to fix these vehicles. Then another thing is building of a place to charge these vehicles. I think he must have procured a place for him to say that. And for the vehicle to must have started work, that place should be put in place already. Yes, not really. For him to have said it, that means it's in the offing. he must have started preparation towards that. I don't think you can just bring in vehicle like this and just leave it, knowing that we're not always, the power holding always hold back our power in this part of the world.
I also want to add that, you know, what we are practicing now, in fact, the development model now that most governments are practicing is the CP.
Yeah.
That's public-private
community partnership.
Partnership. So what I'm trying to suggest is that if you think, say, you be Lord, why don't you adopt this kind of thing? Imagine our communities having...
He actually said it. I have done for my people. If you don't do for your people. So, and that way it's going to replicate. When you do for your own community, I do for my own community. We didn't come from the same community.
Of course.
So it becomes a rippling effect.
Yeah.
And before you know it, all these things are...
I mean, meanwhile, it's good to know that, like I said earlier, we have about 7 EV producing plants in Nigeria, privately owned. And their raw materials are about 60% of their raw materials are being sourced here in Nigeria. But B-Lord imported these. So I think government should actually, you know, spread out, embrace this, because it's going to offer a lot of direct and indirect jobs for our people if we should invest wholly in this kind of, you know, innovation.
Well, it's really a nice one to see.
Help those people who are already into the production of EVs. You can help them and then, you know, expand their cost. It will help everybody. Well, congratulations, you know.
Congratulations to
you know.
The kind of prayers they rained on him, you know, that God should keep him. Of course,
it has always been the same. We have, in my village, we've had people who constructed long kilometers of roads. Like in my village particularly, there's a young man, he doesn't want to be mentioned and all this, but then, or if you walk through my village in my town, you won't see any untarred road. He said he wants every nook and cranny, not just major roads.
And not just his own.
Track which his own. Do you understand? So when you walk in there, you will just feel that this is a township, but it's a village. So I think people who have money, instead of spraying, you know, making merry,
making noise, to be
noise,
heard, to be seen.
Build a legacy that will stand the test of time, and then your people will definitely call your name, and it will be etched into the history of time.
Exactly.
That's what we need.
And even when you're not here again, you'll be remembered for what you have done.
Okay, join us tomorrow again as we try to catch the bus. My name is Ifi Onachukwu.
And I'm Nonya Mokoye.
I'm still Tuluchukwu Okabwe. Up next this morning is the sports segment. And we are expecting her to come and give us the happenings on the world of sports. Most, especially the drubbing Manchester City suffered from the young stars of Arsenal yesterday. If you're an Arsenal fan, this is the time for you to blow your trumpet, man. You know they come any day. You know they come easy. Defeating the defending champions 5-1. Wow. Doesn't come.
They don't touch you, so where you they like?
I don't know.
Sit back for
Sports.